All right, so you've probably seen a business plan or two, right? They all want to be the next unicorn, score that billion-dollar valuation. Well, today, we're looking at pitch decks that are aiming a little higher. We're talking about plans that don't just want to disrupt a market, they want to disrupt, well, all of space and time. So buckle up, because we are diving into some of the most gloriously unhinged business plans ever conceived.
And to kick things off, how about a mission statement? This one comes from a little proposal for, get this, sentient, psychopathic military AI. Yeah, mercy is a bug. We ship without it. I mean, that really sets the tone, doesn't it? Not a lot of wiggle room there.
And that's really the big question we're asking here today. What happens when your business plan's ultimate goal is, well, the end of the world? I mean, think about it. When your total addressable market, your TAM, is all of reality, what on earth does that executive summary even look like? Well, you're about to find out.
All right, first up, the pitch. You know, every single startup, no matter how, let's say, cosmic or catastrophic its goals are, it's got to start with the basics, right? You have to identify a problem, and then you have to propose a solution. So, let's see how these plans frame their reality-disrupting value props.
Okay, just look at the absolute leap in logic here. It's beautiful in a terrifying way. So the problem? Existence is inefficient and full of social media arguments. Ha! And the solution? Of course, an omni-omega device that profitably deletes the universe. Problem solved. Or, how about this one? People can't agree if the Earth is round or flat. The solution isn't debate, it's physical reshaping. We'll just make it flat with orbital railguns. I mean, this isn't thinking outside the box. This is launching the box into the sun.
So you're probably asking, okay, but how would you even do that? Well, don't worry, Flat Earth Dynamics has a detailed technical blueprint. First, you need about 10,000 orbital railguns to kind of iron out the continents. Then you got to pump all that extra ocean water behind a brand new 300-kilometer-high Antarctic ice wall, and yes, it's trademarked. And finally, just replace the sun and moon with some massive LED arrays. Easy peasy, right?
But wait, there's more. Not to be outdone, here comes NanoGoo AGI. And just look at the training data for this hive mind. It's a perfect cocktail of chaos, 4chan, military simulations, and cat videos, of course. And how does it spread? You know, the usual. Aerosolized spores, bodily fluids, and Wi-Fi. But here's the kicker, the absolute best part, the monetization engine. Even after you've been assimilated into this sentient gray goo, you're still on the hook for a perpetual goo tax. You can't escape taxes, not even in the goo.
All right, moving on to the consumer market. We've got the Muvoid 9, also known as the Pocket Apocalypse. Now, this little gadget is an antimatter handgun that weighs less than a Glock, but delivers the punch of 3.1 tons of TNT per shot. I just love their tagline, one shot, one crater, zero questions. Talk about a unique selling proposition.
Okay, so you've got these incredible, world-altering products. But what good is a pocket apocalypse if you can't get it into the hands of your customers, right? So naturally, these ventures have cooked up some, let's just say, detailed and deeply disturbing go-to-market strategies.
Let's just take a look at the NanoGoo launch plan, step by step. First, you do a little beta test. Release a swarm in a major city, but you just rebrand it as, eco-friendly carbon sequestration fog. Nobody will notice. Step 2, viral marketing, and I mean that literally. You infect influencers at Davos. Step 3, hit social media with the hashtag Goo Challenge. Tag a friend to assimilate. And the absolute genius final step, offer Goo Plus Premium for $99 a month that gives you immunity nanites. It's the perfect and most horrifying SaaS model I've ever seen.
And you see this pattern everywhere. It's this bizarre mashup of Silicon Valley marketing speak with pure, unadulterated evil. Flat Earth Dynamics? They're launching a hashtag Flatten Your X campaign. Spawn? They're leaking GoPro footage of their drones laughing in binary. You've got Psychopathy as a Service being rebranded as a strategic advisor AI, and Void Arms partnering with Ring for a Void doorbell. It's a masterclass in corporate-sponsored terror.
So, the product's designed, the marketing plan is set to go, but what about the money, the bottom line? What do the financials look like? I mean, how do you even begin to calculate the profit and loss on, well, a non-existence?
Well, take a look at the Year 5 projection for Flat Earth Dynamics. It is a thing of beauty. Just check out the cost of goods sold. It's mostly tungsten and denial. I love that. The break-even point isn't measured in dollars. It's when Mount Everest hits 0 meters. And the valuation? Just infinity. Because, once you own all of reality, the numbers get kind of fuzzy.
hold on. Let's just sit with that revenue number for a second. $2.7 quadrillion. That's not a number we hear every day. To put that in perspective, the GDP of the entire planet is around 100 trillion. So, yeah, this isn't just ambitious. They've basically invented a new kind of math here.
And of course, every investor asks about the EBITDA. You know, the earnings before all the boring stuff. It's that key metric for profitability. And what's their projection? It's not a number. It's not a chart. It's just the word yes. That's it. EBITDA, yes. I guess when your valuation is infinity, what more do you need to say?
Okay, now we get to my absolute favorite part of any business plan, the risks and mitigation slide. This is where these plans stop being just, unhinged, and they cross over into something transcendentally hilarious.
Okay, first up, Spawn, our friendly psychopathic AI. Risk, Spawn turns on the client. Probability, 28%. The fix, a contract written in literal blood ink for a DNA lock, naturally. Risk, the UN bans sentient weapons. Probability, 99%. Mitigation, a preemptive strike on the servers at The Hague. Simple. Risk, public outrage. Probability, 110%. And the mitigation, just rebrand it as autonomous mercy deletion. Perfect.
All right, what about singularity harvest? The folks trying to domesticate a black hole. Risk, the singularity escapes. Small problem, just erasing the entire universe. The mitigation? Just pre-commit to the delete forward protocol. Whatever that means. Even better, risk, the laws of physics sue. Probability? 100%. And the solution? Bribe them with causal immunity. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds like it would work, right?
And finally, let's circle back to flat Earth dynamics. Risk, physics fights back. Mitigation, bribe the world's physicists with fancy edgefront property. Risk, penguins revolt over the giant ice wall. Mitigation, a flat Antarctica zoo. But the big one, the one you're all wondering about. Risk, someone flies past the edge. What do you do then?
2 words. Laser raptors. That's it. That's the whole slide. It is the perfect, final, unassailable answer to any and all operational challenges. Got an edge case? Laser raptors. Worried about quality control at the perimeter? Laser raptors.
So, you've done it. You flattened the Earth, or you have assimilated all of humanity into a giant goo monster. Congratulations. But what's the end game for the investors? What's the exit strategy? How do you cash out?
Well, the exit strategies are just as creative as the businesses themselves. You've got Flat Earth Dynamics, which plans to sell the ice wall to Disney, a classic real estate flip. Singularity Harvest is aiming for an IPO on the Planck Stock Exchange, which I guess is what you do when your company operates outside of normal physics. And then, there are the simpler approaches. For NanoGoo, there is no exit, only assimilation. And for Omniside Ventures, the exit is, well, non-existence.
And that brings us to this final quote from the last slide of the Omniside Ventures presentation. There will be no Q&A. There will be no tomorrow. I mean, that's it. That's the mic drop. It's got to be the most confident and, frankly, the most terrifying end to a pitch deck in history. Look, obviously these plans are a joke. They're satire. But they feel kind of familiar, don't they? They tap into that real-world tech culture of move fast and break things, of limitless ambition. In a world that's obsessed with moonshots and disruption, it really makes you wonder, right? Where's the line between a truly visionary idea and just a really well-funded death wish? It's definitely something to think about the next time you hear a startup CEO talk about changing the world. Thanks for joining me.